Pat Fallon, also an Air Force veteran who serves on the House Oversight and House Armed Services Committee. Congressman, thank you for your service and thank you for joining us today this Memorial Day.
Thank you, Bianca, for having me on, and happy Memorial Day.
Thank you. And, you know, we're going to talk about your great state of Texas and the tragedy there and the outpouring of prayers that are happening. But first off, you know, this is a solemn day. We're looking at, Arlington National Cemetery. We are remembering some of the biggest heroes that have fought and given their lives to defend the freedoms we have today. Just want to take a moment and ask you, you know, this hits close to home for you, Congressman. What are your thoughts this Memorial Day?
Well, Bianca, thank you. And I love the piece, about the parade up in New York and Brooklyn. It reminds me of John 15:13. Greater love has no one than this, that someone lay down his life for his friends. And that's what Memorial Day is. I remember when I was serving in the Air Force, there was a poster and it said, all gave some and some gave all. And we have to remember that about 1.5 million American men and women have laid down their lives so we can enjoy these freedoms. And we have to remain ever vigilant. As President Reagan said, freedom is just a generation away from disappearing if we don't value our republic.
I really love that you brought a biblical reference into this as well. There's been a lot of thoughts and, the tragedies that have happened, the mass shootings where people are saying that this country, we could, go back to our faith, maybe, put the Bible back in the school. Obviously, that's something that, will be much discussion outside of what, things that people want to go and get political. And as you know, Uvalde was a spot where the president went yesterday. I want to talk a little bit about his comments there coming out of this church service yesterday. There was a lot of people demanding he do something. Let's listen to this, Congressman, and get your reaction after.
Do something! Do something!
So Biden's saying we will do something. Interestingly enough, he has not spoken about the DOJ's move, Congressman. I'm sure you know this. The request of the Uvalde mayor, the Department of Justice says it will be looking into the police response and what needs to be done. Can we get your reaction into that most recent news on the piece of this tragedy?
Yeah, Bianca, it's not enough to do something. We need to do something effective, something that will protect our children. And there's several things we can do. When you're talking about security, particularly not only in schools, but in elementary schools especially, because they are literally our most vulnerable, we want to have layered, security works when it's layered or tiered, if you will. And we want to look at hardening the schools and not just, having one point of entry for elementary schools, but making sure that no one even gets in the first door unless they're supposed to be in there. And they don't get in the second door unless they have been cleared. All the doors in the classroom should be like hotel room doors in so much as they shut automatically and lock every time they're opened. They can't remain open. And also that they can withstand, a shooter, if you will. But we have to look at the police doctrine as well. The police can't just surround and have treat it as a hostage situation, which is what happened in Uvalde, and I think it unfortunately cost lives. They need to go in and be tactical, and anyone that threatens our children in a school like that needs to be taken out, and the threat needs to be eliminated immediately. We need to look at more SROs, more school resource officers, but also a school marshal program where teachers that volunteer can get the training and can be armed. Because we know that firearms in the hands of law-abiding citizens make us all safer.
Agreed. And I think that, as the focus also went into sort of the gun control angle, there were a lot of families in your state that were not too happy about the president, using sort of this, politicizing it so quickly. And even on mainstream media, Congressman Fallon, there was a local reporter who says this is what people in Uvalde felt. She said they felt outrage. I want to play this as well so we can talk about this.
I think some people are concerned about politicizing this event, and I've heard a lot of outrage from people, but I've also heard from folks who say, I don't want to focus on that, on what could have happened, what should have happened. I just want to focus on the kids. So, I would just say it depends on who you ask, but I do think it's significant that he's coming here, and especially so soon after another, similar trip, to Buffalo, where a horrible mass shooting also happened.
Congressman Fallon, what do you think of the president's, visits to Uvalde and Buffalo and, let's say not to Waukesha? Is he politicizing something here for his own gain as we approach midterms?
Bianca, unfortunately, we've seen many Democrats do just that. When there's a mass shooting, they look to gain political currency. And that's not something we should do. And again, doing something isn't enough. Doing something effective is, because we want to make these occurrences, obviously we want to eliminate them, but we want to make them as rare as possible, and we want to protect our kids. So let's talk about that. And if the president wants to go down there, the governor was down there, the lieutenant governor, then just be there to love on the families. And we can start solving these issues together. And I don't think there's many people that would be really opposed to, again, hardening the schools, training teachers to the ones that want to be school marshals, but changing the police doctrine as well. But also, 13 years ago, I was on a city council in Frisco, Texas, and they had something called the SAFER program where all the schools are wired with cameras. Every classroom, every hallway, there's not a stitch of it that they can't cover in a command center. And we need to be looking at that, too, because technology is a lot cheaper than it was even 13 years ago, because, again, that will make our kids safer. If we want to focus on that, let's do that together. But do not politicize this tragedy for your own political gain.
And Congressman, obviously, it's also important to point out some of the past history here. You had Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut, Elizabeth Warren, Massachusetts, introducing legislation to actually bar police from schools. That was in 2020. We saw as recently as just a few months ago, Los Angeles cutting the funding for officers in classrooms here. So Democrats and the left can come out now and say they need stricter gun laws, but they were behind things like what I just mentioned. And it does seem that hypocrisy, again, is on full display.
Yeah, when this happens, it really is sad because you can just count on certain people to get in front of a camera and blame Republicans and blame the NRA. The only person that was responsible for that tragedy was the evil monster that decided to bring firearms and harm our kids. That's who was responsible for it. Now, we can talk about making it much more difficult for someone like that to harm our kids, and that's a fine conversation. But remember also, these people on the left that are blaming Republicans are also the people that are calling for hardened felons, convicted felons, to get out of prison sooner, violent felons. That doesn't make us safer. That puts us all more in danger. So we need to be logical about this and not emotional.
I like that. And I think, Beto O'Rourke, you talk about someone getting in front of the camera. He had that outburst where families were waiting to hear from resources at Governor Abbott's news conference. He got up, made that huge display there. Over the weekend at the NRA convention, Beto also was there in Houston, but reporter Drew Hernandez confronted him. Let's play what Beto had to say when he wasn't in front of an entire school-filled families, in front of Abbott. Let's see what he says to Drew.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, Beto.
Hey,
how do you feel exploiting dead kids? How do you feel exploiting dead kids, Beto? Do you care? The parents in Uvalde said they didn't want you there. The parents in Uvalde said they didn't want you there, Beto. What do you say to the parents I talked to yesterday in Uvalde that said they didn't want you there? They didn't want you to do that, Beto. They didn't want you to exploit dead kids, Beto.
Not much for him to say there, Congressman. What's your reaction to his response when he's confronted with his actions?
You know what? Let's be very clear here, because let's go beyond honesty and let's be candid, Bianca. Beto O'Rourke is a desperate, grandstanding clown. He's going to lose another election. And to do that was absolutely disgraceful, and it was gutter politics. It was all about him, very narcissistic. How about, again, just loving on the families? If you want to go in that press conference, you want to go in that briefing, then you go in there and you give those folks hugs, and we'll deal with this. And quite frankly, he should have said, I want to reach out to my Republican counterparts and to solve these issues and to make all Texas children safer. He didn't do any of that. It was all about him. Pay attention to me. And what he was hoping was that the left, he would catch some wind and then be propelled into being more electorally viable. And that didn't happen at all. I think it backfired on him, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, it sure did. Well, we always appreciate you because you are so candid and honest. Texas Congressman Pat Fallon, thank you for joining us today. And again, on a day, Memorial Day, where we remember our heroes, we thank you for your service to our great nation.
Amen. Thank you, Bianca. God bless.
Thank you, and God bless you. Well, unsettling news here. A fifth grade student in Cape Coral, Florida, arrested for sending a threatening text